So it's now 23 minutes to hit 8 o'clock. From the studios of Love 99.5, Charlie, we are assembled, we are seated, and we're ready to have a conversation about the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, with me in the studios this morning, I've got Steve Zando. Hi, Steve. Good morning once again.
Yeah, David. Good morning.
Eugene Osetutu is also right here with me.
Good morning.
Fifi Manfred is also right here with me.
Good morning.
And our DJ for the morning, Stanley Boyti. Lee, everything good?
Even if it's not good, it's good.
DJ into
Kudus Day. All right, so the coach of the Black Stars, Chris Hughton, has issued an apology. His apology as a Ghanaian for the abysmal performance of the Black Stars lately. Now, as you're very much aware, the Black Stars were whitewashed. They were walloped by 4-0 by the United States of America in an international friendly a couple of days ago. I think it was on Tuesday night, getting into early hours of Wednesday. Now, this was after they have been beaten by 2-0 by Mexico, or let's say Mexico, as many of us, called them. Now, to quote the coach, in terms of the apology he said, "I apologize for the performance and the results at the press conference, that's a post-press conference after the game against the United States of America." Now, after the apology, he was also asked, whether he thinks that he's the right person for the job, right person to be the coach for the Black Stars. He answered and said, yes, he thinks that he's the right person. So first of all, take a listen to what the coach had to say by way of he being disappointed with the performance of the Black Stars. Here we go.
I understand all the criticisms. I understand because I've been doing this a long time and I know what the game means to Ghanaians. I know. Sometimes the bad performances like today can be something that can kickstart something else, or it can be something that makes my mind up about a certain system, way of playing, players, or whatever. So the only thing we can do is we can use this. I understand the disappointment. I can tell you, there's nobody that's more disappointed than I am.
So nobody is more disappointed than he is, and that's the coach for the Black Stars, Chris Hughton, saying that he's disappointed in the performance of the Black Stars. We'll be coming to this statement from the coach in a bit, but here is how he answered the question as to whether he thinks that he's the right person for the job. This is the answer he gave.
If you're asking me if I feel I'm the right person, yes, I do. The result today is something that is hugely disappointing. We have 2 games in November, 2 big games in November, 2 big World Cup games in November, and it's our responsibility and my responsibility as coach to turn these bad defeats and bad performances into better ones and ones where we can win both.
So he attested to the fact that the performance has been poor or bad, and of course the defeat has equally been bad as well. He says, well, he has what it takes to turn things around, and that's the coach for the Black Stars, Chris Hughton. Now, on his part, Jordan Ayew, a senior member for the Black Stars, well, he says the defeat is a reality check for the team, as they know now their level. I can say their smoothness level. Take a listen to him.
Well, to answer your question, first of all, I just feel like we just need a bit of more time because it's a new group, a lot of new players, and most of the players are really inexperienced. So it's not easy, but we're working on it because we know we don't have time, and this type of games is a reality check. And now we know our level, and we know we have to keep working hard to get this cohesion together and to learn how to play together and all those things. So it will come with time, but we all know that in football there's not really time. So we're pushing hard and we're trying our best to have better performances as a team, and with time it will come.
With time it will come. As whether Ghanaians have that time, that patience for that time, I can't tell. But what do you make of the apology from the coach? What do you make of the fact that he says he's the right person for the job? Let's hear from you, and you can join our conversation by picking up your device, your phone, your tablet, whatever. Go onto WhatsApp, record a voice message or a voice note and send it to 055-1111-995. First of all, what do you make of the apology from the coach? And the fact that he answers by saying that he's the right person for the job, what do you make of it? Now, we'll be coming to the apology bit later. But let me start off the conversation with you, Steve Zando. What do you make of the performance of the Black Stars under Chris Hughton?
I think that we've been average. The performance against the USA was really bad, and against Mexico as well. But for the record and for statistics, Chris Hughton has led the Black Stars in 7 matches. 3 wins. I think 3 draws. Let me cross-check the facts. So
that's a cross-check the facts. Tell me the ways. How convincing have the wins
exactly
been?
That's why I'm coming to. So 7 matches for Chris Hughton, 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 defeats. But in the 3 matches that he won, obviously the game against Angola and Central African Republic, these were not convincing wins for me, because against Angola it was a last-minute equalizer from Antoine Semenyo, and we played that game at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. We played about 80 minutes of that game with most Ghanaians sitting on the knife edge, obviously because we were worried. And our opponents on the day were very much in the game. Same can be said of the Central African Republic, game as well. So I'm saying his performance has been average, because I was expecting an improved performance of the Black Stars based on the performance we saw from the Black Stars at the 2022 World Cup and the last edition of the Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. But I have to admit that we have not been there. We have not really improved. But for the result, he has gotten us some few results in there. But in terms of the general play, we have not been there, and we can only improve going forward.
Well, we are live on Facebook as well. You can find us on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. That's how you can find us on Facebook. And if you join us on Facebook right now, we're showing you excerpts from the game that was played a day and a half ago. That was the game between Ghana and the United States of America. Even at the World Cup level, Ghana is able to beat and defeat the United States of America. So what is happening to the Black Stars right now? We want to diagnose that problem this very morning. What is the problem with the Black Stars? Also on Facebook, if you join us, in case you missed the game between Ghana and Mexico, we'll be giving you highlights of that game as well. But Fifi Manfred, aside from me wanting you to tell me what you make of Hughton's performance with the Black Stars so far, tell me, let's diagnose the problem. What do you think the problem really is with the Black Stars right now? But start off by telling me what you make of the performance of the Black Stars under Chris Hughton. How well have we performed under your estimation?
So I think that if you go strictly, David, thank you to our listeners. If you go strictly to statistics and then the data, you say that he hasn't performed badly, because like Zando mentioned, he has played 7 games, he has drawn 3, he has won 3, he has lost 2, the last 2 ones that he played. But competitively, all the games that he's supposed to win for us, he has managed to win them. I remember when we had this discussion about what Chris Hughton will bring to us as a nation, as Black Stars, and I told you that the first thing that you shouldn't ask Chris Hughton for is good football. He doesn't know that. That's not his modus operandi. He doesn't work to bring you good football. What he does is just try and get the result for you. It's testament of his work at Newcastle, at Brighton and Hove Albion. That's exactly the kind of job that he does. Very, very defensively resolute, and then make sure he gets the job for you. But you see, but for the last 2 games, maybe people would have said, okay, fine. If he's getting us 3 wins out of 6 without losing a game, then maybe we are okay. But then going to Charlotte to lose 2-0 to Mexico, and then going back to Nashville and then losing 4 goals to America was bad. And the first thing is this: the attitude and the body language of the players on the field of play, one, told me something, that they were clueless. So if you look at the game against USA for one, it looked as if all the players didn't know exactly what they were supposed to do, including the one who said there are inexperienced people in the team, and then those that were inexperienced themselves in the team. Everybody looked lost. It was ill-spirited, no spirit in the performance of the boys that donned the jersey of Ghana on that day, and that's the worrying part. Sometimes when you look at development of teams, you can say maybe our problems run skin deep, but in the short term, in a game, you expect people to put up a fight. Now, you see, what makes it much more apparent is even the story and what happened to Malady Seidu. Malady Seidu, per my eye test, and everybody that's watched Malady Seidu, is one of the best players in terms of commitment in the last times that he has played for the team. If you watch him at the Barbara, he doesn't stop running, he doesn't stop pressing. He's just that guy that wants to go. Now, there was a video that I'm sure Joel will put on our Facebook for people to watch, where Timothy Weah, the son of George Opon Weah, president of Liberia, former, he lobbed the ball over him.
He's the president of Liberia.
Oh, he still won the last election.
Yeah, he's still the president.
Wow.
No, he hasn't won. There's a probability of a runoff though, so he's still the president.
Okay, great. Okay, so he lobbed the ball over his son Timothy. Timothy did that lob over Alidu, and if you know Alidu, he doesn't give up. I literally just stood there and just did this. Whoa. Like, where is everybody? He just looked around and there was nobody close to him to help him out. It took Thomas Partey to run back to kind and help with that. So there was no spirit with how we played. Again, tactically, we looked as if we didn't have a structure. Of course, everybody will see this. In that game against Mexico, in the first half, we hardly, since Otuado, under Chris Hughton, we don't play a 3-back. For some reason, because our two main centre backs, in fact, 3 main centre backs are out. Amate, Salisu, and Jiku are out. Maybe he wanted to have options. So he played Nicolas Opoko, another Ambrosius, and the likes, Jerome Opoko, in a 3-back. But at least as if in the first half, they tried to play. Now, going forward, it was disjoint. Like, they didn't know the zones to be in, the communication, all of those things were bad.
You're talking about the US game?
Yeah.
No wonder in 40 minutes we considered 4 goals.
Exactly.
So each 10 minutes, 10 minutes we consider a goal.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, what would you make of the collapse itself? I mean, are you okay with the collapse? Are you okay with the player selection of calls?
So, David, I will take it also from a caller perspective. I am worried, but not like how everybody's worried. I'm worried because we call players for calling sake.
What do you mean?
Okay, so we call Fifi Manfred because he's a striker. We need a striker, a first striker. Then we had a striker. We call Eugene Osei-Tutu because he's a midfielder. We get a striker in. Because here in Ghana, we don't have a game model. We don't have a way that Ghana is supposed to play.
A style.
So that if David Akwete is the manager, he has to play 4-3-3. So we ask them, can you play 4-3-3? What are your principles in the 4-3-3? Says, me in the 4-3-3, I don't press. The other person in the 4-3-3, I will press. So when he can say, okay, then I want pressing players for my time. So there's a core team, but he calls people that are energetic enough to press. But under CK Akuno, we played 4-3-3. Very, very progressive, but defensive we were leaking. And Avram Grant, 1-goal project, 4-2-3-1. And Kwesi Appiah, 4-4-2. Regular Ghanaian formation for a very long time. And Otuado, we played sometimes 4-2-3-1, sometimes 3 at the back at the World Cup. And then under Chris Hughton, we've seen 4-2-3-1. And then most recently, a 3 at the back because he had lost a centre back. So, no particular way of calling the players. We call because we have to call players. And that is worrying. As for the other things that are there, yes, they are worrying. But I think that if you're able to fix this, that may not even be an issue that much, because then these players will either fit into this criteria or not. So that's my worry. If we don't call players in that direction, and we just call because we have to go and play World Cup qualifier, so we should call players.
But do we have the kind of players that when we give them call-ups, they'll be able to fit into the Black Stars and give us the kind of results that we're looking for?
We do.
I'll come back to you with that shortly as to who the players are and why we're not calling on them. But listen, let me tell you about something amazing that the CBG is doing. They want you to enjoy faster, safer, and cheaper intra-African trade and commerce payments on the Pan-African, payments and settlement system. Make or receive payments in, your home country's currency. No long wahala. Now visit any of CBG's 114 branches nationwide to make your instant cross-border payments today. Call them by using these numbers. It's 0302 216 000, or talk to us at cbg.com.gh, or you can visit any of our social media handles. We're talking about Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for further enquiries. All right, do that and you'll be glad you did. Now, we all know that somebody who is more than just one thing. Take the shoemaker, down the street, for instance. Now, he doubles as a shop attendant at the corner store during the day and also plays football with the guys like, Eugene Osei-Tutu on the park in the evenings. And just like him, we are all more than one thing. That's why ABSA provides banking solutions for the mini size of you. Whatever your need for the different size of you, ABSA has the products that you require and services that can help you get it all done. Join ABSA to get every kind of banking solutions for every kind of you. Visit the nearest ABSA branch or absa.com.gh for more information. Now, if you are a car owner, there's only one sound you fall in love with each and every time you turn on the ignition: the sound of a healthy engine. And that's why Shell Fuels with the Dynaflex technology is designed to keep your car engine clean and protected for efficient running and a healthy engine that sounds music to your ears. From the timeless classics to the sleek new models, and from the heavy-duty trucks to the nimble compacts, one thing's for sure, every car loves Shell. Have that at the back of your mind, that every car loves Shell. Well, if you're wondering why, it's simply because whether you're cruising on the open road or battling with the busy city streets, Shell Fuels will keep your engine running smoothly. So visit your favorite Shell station today and get Shell Fuels, because every car loves Shell Fuels for better journeys. So again, if you're asked why Shell Fuels, it's as simple as just saying because every car loves Shell. So yes, sir.
Yeah. So David, on the caller bit.
I'll come to you on that, don't worry. Okay. Indulge me. Let me go to Eugene. He hasn't spoken on this matter yet. And Eugene, I'd like for you to also take it from the top where I began. Your own thoughts and impressions with the performance of Chris Hughton, the Black Stars coach, and what do you think the problem really is?
I think that this paper in front of me. This dawn, I was trying to look at the Black Stars, and David, your question is, we are diagnosing the malady. If you say a malady, Fifi is a pharmacist, so he understands it more. It's an illness, you are diagnosing it. I think that looking at the shape of the Black Stars, and I kept watching the Mexico and US game, the highlight, the Black Stars has a deep-seated misunderstanding of what the team is about. That's the first thing I think. A deep misunderstanding of what the team is about. And they lack leadership. Yesterday I said the leadership on and off the pitch. They've lost the sense of playing for the national team, like what it comes to playing the national team,
the pride, and the joy.
It is not a coaching problem. I'm tempted to believe it's more psychological. In fact, under this administration, I find something very weird, and I was one of the first people to see that thing. Where we went to a full AFCON with no psychologists. For any leader of a Black Star in the 21st century, 2021, to think you can go to a major tournament of such momentous, time and not take a cycle is a problem. These players we see and how they play, and you see, Fifi gave a clear example. Aludi Seidu will dare not do what he did at Clermont. He dare not do that. He will sit on the bench. He did that at the Black Star.
Black Stars, you mean?
Yes, at the Black Stars. Look at his disposition, his demeanor. They've lost that sense of playing for the national team.
Isn't that why the coach should be able to put pressure on them and ensure that they do what is required of them?
David, when Aliou Cisse picked the Senegalese national team and all the top African teams, pick all of them, it took time. So that's why yesterday I have not called for the sack of Chris Hughton. I've always said that let's have some semblance of stability. But if my point I always come back to is that the players themselves, we've seen teams.
We'll talk about the players. Indulge me. Hold on. Indulge me. We'll talk about the players and their temperament and their commitment to the team. But you said what Aliou Seidu did. If he had done it,
Aliou
Seidu.
Okay,
the right back.
Yeah. What he did, if he had done that at the club side, he would have been benched. That's what you said, isn't it? Benched by who? The coach.
Yeah.
So if you come to this Black Stars and you give up such performance and give off such attitude, who should take action of that? It is a coach. Don't you agree, Eugene?
I'm saying that. So you didn't allow me to land. If you had allowed me to land, you will get me. I'm saying that the coach is new. How long has Chris Hughton been with the national team?
Close to 2 years. One has technical advice.
So, but if somebody is not putting up a good behavior character, do you know duration of time to be able to put a person in the right perspective?
Is he David? If you are not allowing me to land, it will be difficult to make Papa. I'm saying that Zando says 2 years, almost a year as technical advisor, a year as a coach. As a national team coach, how many times does he have, audience with the players? Isn't Chelsea saying Pochettino needs time? He trains with them Monday to Sunday. Isn't Liverpool saying Jurgen Klopp after 8 years will come back? He trains with them Monday to Sunday. So the point I'm making is that no coach can deliver results in that short time. But the point I'm making is that the element on the field themselves, when you look at them, they are not showing that promise they have to show when they don the national team. And I'm saying that over the years, look at Partey's performance at the national team. Who can remember Partey's one memorable moment at the Black Stars?
Ghana, Nigeria.
It is against the match he scored the free kick, and maybe against Nigeria. So the point I'm making is that there are senior elements in the team. There are players who must have cognizance of the occasion that they are playing in. Because see, the coaches, and we can go there. We've changed coaches since we set the Black Star up in 59. We've changed the coaches since 59. What has happened to the Black Stars? In the 42 years, we've not won the AFCON. How many coaches have we changed? So the point I'm making, David, is that, and I said it carefully, that we lack leadership on and off the field. That leadership, even the technical leadership, there's a GFA that must ensure that, but we have GFA ESCO members who are undermining the very coach they've appointed publicly.
Are you done now? No, because listen, I'm not getting what you're saying clearly.
No, I'm saying
and Fifi, help me out on this. Maybe I'm not getting what Eugene is saying clearly.
Hold on the Malady Seydou issue.
Yes,
I am saying that.
What I'm saying is this: if you're a player on the field, I am the coach. I've put you on the field of play to give me a certain performance and give me a certain role. Now, if a ball is played and you stand aloof and open your hands wide, asking where are your support, and you yourself, like you mentioned, you cannot do this at your club level. You'll be benched. Why can't you, as a coach, take that same bold decision and say, listen, based on what you do, I'm going to bench you.
That is
you don't need time to do this. Put the fear in them so that they do.
Cannot allow me to arrive at the point. That's the point I'm making, that the Black Stars lack leadership. I said what? Leadership on and off the field. Who was the captain of that day? The leadership I'm talking about off the field. Are we here pretending that the Black Star leadership of the field is Chris Hughton? Are we pretending? We all know.
But the captain of the hold on, leadership of the
really
day.
get a point, but you see,
I
David,
don't get a point myself.
What I think is
on
that,
that score, I'm not getting it.
So David wants, I mean, just like you just said, David wants the coach to bench Malady Seydou in the next game, perhaps against Madagascar and the World
Not
Cup.
necessarily benching him, but
so
making sure that
decision to come from the coach.
Exactly.
So the point is that on this particular Malady Seydou issue, it will be very difficult for Coach Chris Hughton, because maybe at club side, the coach can afford to bench him because he's got options.
Okay.
Exactly.
But if you look at our current setup, like Fifi mentioned in his initial submission, Malady Seydou has been one of our very best players.
In fact, on the day, he was our best defender.
The last time that we played here in Kumasi, I mean, he was virtually the man of the match. And so, judging from the fact that he's one of the very best players that we've got now, it will be very difficult for you to bench him in the next game based on this mistake. There are several ways a coach can reprimand players. Maybe, I mean, he can scold him after the match in the dressing room, what have you. But I'm not expecting Coach Chris Hughton to bench Malady Seydou in the next game against Madagascar because
we have options.
Exactly.
Fine. So let me
as we speak, Tariq Lamptey didn't come for this match because he's injured. Where is Dennis Odoi? So as we speak, we don't have a lot of options at the right back position. And but I'm talking about the right back position. And he's virtually the best defender as we speak in terms of the performance in the
Will you agree with me? That is where I would agree with Fifi on some portion when I ask a question as to whether we are bringing in the right players. We're calling the right players to come and don the jersey and play for us. Will you agree with me that to some extent some of the players see themselves as untouchables? No matter what I do on the field of play, I will still be given a jersey to wear and be asked to go on the field of play. Although I don't give up my best, I would have the opportunity to play.
You see, David, this morning, my issue is simple. My issue has got to do with the players. And I think I share in the thought of Eugene Osei too. Back then, when Michael Essien and Suleiman Muntari, Stephen Appiah, Lai Kingston, when they were emerging as man of the match, almost every game, I don't think we had better coaches back then. I don't think Claude Dua was exceptional coach. Rasmus Dukovic was exceptional. Even Milovan Raj, I don't think he was exceptional. But these players, whenever they don the jersey of the Black Stars, they want to be the man of the match, not the coach. These days, Ghana plays a game and we want the coach rather to be the man of the match. And that's problematic because if you look at the players that we have, most of the players play for big clubs in Europe. Okay, so Malady Seydou, Clement Foot, Salis Abdou Samed plays for Lens. Lens were second last season in the French Ligue 1. They lost the league by just a point to Paris Saint-Germain. Thomas Partey, Arsenal, Mohamed Kudus, West Ham United. Okay, so I mean, assuming the coach is not even doing the right thing, what should the players do on the field of play? Like I mentioned, when Essien and Co, when they were playing, I mean, it is not as if they had better coaches back then.
They seem to relax.
Exactly, but these days,
look at the comment by the coach on, let's say, for example, Inaki Williams, who, when he plays for his club side, plays very well, but comes to the Black Stars, is not giving us the same kind of results that we seek for. And the coach comes to tell us, like you played on Monday, the sound that you shared with us, that, well, he's not being fed well on the field of play. You have to play to a certain pattern. Then the guy will be fed the ball so he can be able to, net the ball and give us the goals. But when the coach comes to say this, okay, who do you blame for this?
So I think maybe the coach was criticizing himself, but he didn't realize that this is how I judge coaches, and I keep on saying it. If a coach set out a team to play, first 11, the right strategy, the right formation, and the team ends up creating a lot of chances, defense well, his job is done. Slotting the balls at the back of the net, it should be the responsibility of the players on the field of play. So I'm saying that if consistently Naki Williams is not getting the supplies that he needs, then the coach, you have a problem. But I think the conversation should move beyond coaching, like Fifi said. Ghana, as we speak, I don't think we have a playing model. You watch all our national teams, and it is really difficult for you to figure out the style of play of our national teams. Back then, even when we were losing matches to Germany in the 2010 World Cup, you could see some semblance of really good players. Exactly, commitment, patriotism, and what have you. But
although you lost with pride.
Yes.
Against Germany in the World Cup. We lost with pride.
Yes.
Because we played very well.
When we drew 2-2 with Germany, the players were that good.
But the day you also said they are finding themselves because it's a new team.
I don't think that statement is generally true, because most of these players have played together for a very long time. Thomas Partey, Kudus Mohammed, they have been with the national team for more than 3 years. I think the players should be up and doing. The conversation should not always be about the coach. Let's start the coach. Since 1982, like you mentioned, we have fired a lot of coaches. Okay, but we don't really get a result that we want from the Black Stars. So I think that the players rather must improve.
What do we need to do then? And this one is going to go across board. What do we need to do to make sure that the players will give us the commitment, the dedication, and the results that we're looking for? You keep listening to someone like Osei Kofi. He will tell you that at the time you saw it as a pride to be invited to come and play in the Black Stars. And when you're given the jersey, you're to prepare to die for the nation. I was saying yesterday that when it came to, let's say, Azuma Nelson those times, even if the guy would fight at 1 a.m. or be and down, but this time around, I didn't bother whether Black Stars was going to play on. I didn't really care, So what will it take for the players to really give off their best and die for the nation? Not necessarily come and look for the monies that they'll be giving when they come for appearance fees and all that. What will it take for the players to give off their very best?
Well, leadership. Leadership from the quarters of the Football Association. Leadership from the quarters of the Ministry of Sports, leadership from the quarters of the technical area. And Dave, it will sad you to it's a worry that some of these players know that the people over there do not care about them. Essentially, they know, they've dealt with them. They know that these guys, some of them are crooks. They don't care about them. So why would I care about something, the bigger picture, when the guy that's supposed to take care of me or take care of my dealings with the bigger picture doesn't care about me and is in bed with all the wrong things that I do over there? So there isn't any better leadership up there.
Do you miss Nyantechi in any way?
I never dealt with Nyantechi as close as I wasn't this close to the game at the time, so I can't speak to Mr. Nyantechi. But I think that it's a skin deep thing. Dave, you see, I think also that these players, this crop of players, are being over-pampered. Jordan Ayew is telling me that this team is inexperienced. Does he know Greg Berhalter, the coach of the USMT? Does he know Giovanni Reina? Does he know Christian Pulisic? Does he know Yunus Musa? Does he know Timothy Weah? They started playing together less than 2 years ago. This American team. Yes, it's America. They have a game model. They have a structure. Greg plays to that. After the World Cup, they had big issues. For SHS, Greg Berhalter and Giovanni Reina's mother were supposed lovers when they were in high school. Reina is a player for USMT. Berhalter is the coach. Things that happened then cropped up. Berhalter nearly lost his job. They called him back and says, "Come and do your job." But it is leadership. Now Reina plays the game and he gets the job done. In our parts of the world, we make these excuses. When they don the jersey, they show that they want to fight. If you've watched Ghana USA games, it is not about results. It's about pride. And again, apart from that game again, the Mexico game, we look too disjointed. We look as if we really did not care. And there's something wrong. That is why sometimes when you say that the back stops with Chris Hughton, I agree with you, because what was Chris doing on the touchline? What was he telling the boys? Because now at that point in time, no FA president can do anything. No sports minister can do anything. It is you, the technical leader, who is the coach. Now, if you stand aloof and then you don't do anything to them, you see, there are times where coaches would have to rip into players. Mourinho has that style. Pep Guardiola will do it. Thomas Tuchel doesn't care how you feel, because sometimes the standards have to be set. I really said he was our best player on that day, but I will be sad if after the game Chris Hughton doesn't give him a telling in front of his colleagues. Because David, even us in the corporate world, when we do things wrong, our bosses will tell you they are wrong, because you need to be put in the right direction. But they wear the jersey, they play anyhow that they want to play, give us flimsy excuses. We will have an AFCON in January. Yeah. They'll probably go and camp in Qatar. Yeah, because we want to take them away from the angry Kumasi fans. Okay, bring them to Kumasi. Let the fans tell them how they feel. You see, I saw something. When we went to Nashville, they did an open media time. On the field of play, they allowed some media people to come close to the players and talk to them. They don't do that here in Kumasi. Zando is here.
Yeah. So Eugene, continue from where FIFA is landing. No. What in your estimation do you expect to be done to make the boys give up their best?
No, so David, you notice that everybody is agreeing about the behavior of the players, and that is the point I started with. Sometimes, yes, we can give the coach a telling, but you, the player, you must recognize the occasion you are on. For example, when you look at Thomas Tepa, and I always say that this guy has, as in Kanasem, but he's been one of our poorest performing players in about the last 5-7 years.
So why come if you're not going to give your 100%,
but he's not fully fit.
So don't come and risk it.
No, David. Even when Partey is playing on the field,
fully fit,
we don't see Partey. So the point I'm making is that coach, you never say coach in a bone. You people yourself on the pitch, David. See, our players that use them, they are too dadabiism, lethargic. Look at Fatai Shahaku when he's playing. And you see, sometimes we scapegoat the Barbara man and cool. And I'm beginning to agree with Fifi that we've selected some players in our mind. Blasters are Nadia. The Mexico did Barbara man play.
No.
Let's go there. The USA did Barbara man play. But the same syndrome, the Maguireism, we see them in the Blasters.
And when Partey decides to give his best, a little bit, like we played in Nigeria, that gave us a qualification to the World Cup. You could see that Charlie the Blasters would do well.
Actually,
but listening to Jordan Ayew, saying that, well, they have now come to realize their level, that they have to do much better. How convincing did he sound to you,
David? What I'm saying is that what he's saying is just speeches, and Fifi rightly put it. It's not a new team. You see, we've always, Coach Biaba, I'm building a team. These players have played together some 4-5 years. One Kudus even was at Nordjylland also, even before Ajax.
He was playing.
Yeah, he was getting a shout in the Black Stars. He spent about 3 years in Ajax. So he's played the Black Stars about 4 years. It's not a new team. What will cause us to change is that when we read about Ben Kofi's plan, that metamorphosed into us qualifying for Germany 2006. David, there was a plan. Multimedia is Ghana's leading media conglomerate because there's a plan. Apuzo Metie was sending messages. There's a plan, there's a direction. Right? Multimedia survived 25-26 years, there's a plan. Others don't survive 3 years because they do things anyhow. There's a plan. If you don't have a plan, you fail. The US national team players, David, where do they play? Tenor, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Our players play there. Tim Reed, Fulham. Our players play the same teams with them. Juventus guy, the one who was with Leeds. What's the name? McKennie.
Yeah.
Our players, look at where they play, our caliber of players. If I'm not even exaggerating, I think that our players are playing in much more bigger leagues now than maybe the Muntari's era. Because when you take Muntari up here, the rest were not really big team. But look at where they are playing. If you play for Leicester, and they just went to relegation, this is a Premier League winning team, not Blackpool and co. You get the point I'm making. So it will take a plan, one for me, a plan that identifies Ghana's identity. And David, it's not just the Blasters, so maybe people have not noticed. Zando put it rightly. when you watch even our junior teams, it's worse. The female team, apart from
but these are the females are doing quite well.
No,
they're doing quite well.
But when you look at our funeral agenda, even it starts with our league. And I told you this, Don, when I was reading about when Ghana won the AFCONs, all those times, Ghana's league was ranked one of the best on the continent. Our league was improving. But David, look at our league, and I feel that is where the problem begins from, where we can develop the plan. David, a player will be playing the league 6 months, was 10 goals, vamos. You not hear of him again until the team he went to has released him. So there's no identity in the league. There's no commitment to improve the league, to generate players for us. Now the format of the GFA is that 16 years. Philemon Kwache, you are Ghana and you bet me about my. Then we start approaching them. That's the plan. Then we bring them in. When you bring them in, and Kevin Preswatson said it in his recent interview, you fail to integrate them into the culture. There's a certain culture that Ghanaians are used to. So you may say Kelvin is arrogant, but because you've not given him that proper orientation of the team is playing. Look at Inaki, for example. There's not been any commitment, and if you put rightly, right? David, imagine Inaki training field. You open to the Black Stars. On the Black Stars, not and David, another thing too that we need to stop to improve the team is agency players.
No, but that
will be difficult. It's not 13 minutes past 8. In the next 2 minutes, when it's 8:15, we'll be picking calls as well. Our phone line, the numbers are 03220-83596, 03220-83597, 03220-83598. In 2 minutes. We're picking calls. Steve, will be fast.
David, we should not trivialize the point that Eugene just made. He made a very, very important point, and I keep on saying this. For me, the leadership of the Ghana Football Association many a time shows up when the Black Stars are in town, they're about to play. When it comes to their primary responsibility as Ghana Football Association officials, it is supposed to be the Ghana Premier League or the local leagues. Because look, the Black Stars is just being funded by the government.
I fight you over this every morning.
Exactly. The Black Stars or the national teams are being funded by government. The GFA is handling the Black Stars by virtue of the fact that FIFA only recognizes the GFA as an association. So government cannot really handle the Black Stars. So they are managers of the Black Stars. So it's very easy for everyone to do it, including David Akwete, who is not a football expert. Because the government funds the activities of the Black Stars. But when it comes to the local league, which is supposed to be your primary responsibility, I don't remember the last time I saw Ketokloku, the GFA president, at the Barbara Sports Stadium watching Asante Kotoko.
So as we speak,
when Black Stars come to town, he will be here.
We want to break that jinx, the 41-year-old jinx, where we have not won the African Cup of Nations. In barely 2.5 months, that's January, we're going to Cote d'Ivoire for AFCON. The coach says, we have some World Cup qualifiers to play in November.
Madagascar and
Comoros. As we speak, are we ready for AFCON 2024?
No, David.
The coach tells you that he's going to do better. He says he feels the pain, the disappointment, and all that, and that we're going to improve and do better. So based on that, can we be ready for AFCON?
David, quick one. The last time we played in the AFCON in Cameroon, we couldn't qualify from the group stage.
Yeah,
we got only 1 point. That was against Gabon, 1-1 draw. We lost to Morocco and Minos Comoros. At the World Cup, we couldn't qualify from the group stage. So I can only speak to history and precedents, or maybe records. Based on the performance the Black Stars have churned out over the years, in the last few years, I can comfortably say that we are not ready for the AFCON, and we can never be among the favorites for the next edition of the AFCON in Ivory Coast. Maybe they can go there and surprise me. But as we speak, based on what they have demonstrated in the last 3 years, we are not among the
So David, we are not ready until we have cultural reset.
Hold on for me on that thought. I don't want this guy to hold the line for too long.
Wants me to do an exercise for him, so
Nana Kweku, good morning. Nana Kweku.
Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so I know you'll be following the conversation. Let's hear you. What do you want to share?
Well, you asked a question why the coach couldn't bench Alidu. But Alidu was in the match. And there was no way the coach could substitute or take him out so that we play 10 against 11. After that, yes, no, like
that is not what I said. And you didn't listen. I mean, so
no,
we're talking about the behavior and the attitude of the player, and we're saying that going forward, take action against such players.
It should come from the coach.
Yes.
Yeah, from the coach. Yes, it will be in the subsequent matches that he can take action against him, or even probably after the match reprimand him. But you see, our Black Stars, some people are saying some people have played for 3 years. But the matches for 7 matches that the coach has it's not up to even more probably if you groom them for 3 months consistently. What we may have to do going forward as a nation is that when the league ends in abroad, back in the 70s and the 60s and then probably in the early 80s, or Sekofi's time, they used to say that when the league ends, all players go to the camp and then they play as a team. When it's time for matches, they are released. After the league ends and they come to Ghana, we need to get these boys, groom them. Even if they have to be playing as Kwamo Deportivo or even local teams here, groom the blasters so that they can get accustomed and then get to know each place. And in Aki Williams, there's no way. Look, they believe they have to play this style. Inaki Williams has his style. If they cannot pass him, there's no way Inaki Williams can somersault and get ball to score. So it's our style of play. And that man, they've gone to wait for him. Also, what can I do? There's football people. I can't say they are corrupt. So I wouldn't say that.
All right, so you can also be part of our conversation. Give us a call now on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. What do you make of the performance of the Black Stars lately? What do you think the problem really is? What is the problem? Now, the coach, when asked whether he is the right person for the job, has answered and said, yes, he's the right person for the job. So what is the problem of the Black Stars? Well, across the board here this morning, everybody is to a large extent blaming the players and the attitude towards playing for the Black Stars. Do you agree or you disagree? Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
Yes, sir. What's your name, boss?
My name is Herman Vroom, speaking from Ozon's Chemist.
Did you say Herman?
Herman Vroom.
Herman Vroom, let's hear you, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. Dave, the problem is, during the appointment of the coach, you saw the division, the GFA didn't want the coach, the government brought in the coach. So from the one, the GFA that doesn't want the coach, you see the Black Stars playing their match in Kumasi, and you see the GFA chairman opening boreholes in the north. And the players, I don't know, the lackadaisical attitude of the players. No, we need to seriously talk to the players. It's not good at all. Going forward now, playing the World Cup qualifiers in November and the AFCON in January, we need to be serious about the team. And the rumors now going around is the GFA people are now calling for the head of Chris Hilton. Seriously, we need to talk about that. Seriously, we need to talk about that as a nation. It's not good at all.
Herbert Broom, thanks very much for joining us. Christoph is on the line as well, but you can call us on 03220-83596, 83597, 83598. What do you think is the problem with the Black Stars? We're told that we have the younger sides. They play very good football. Kudus, for example, so and stuff like that. Is that a problem of the Black Stars? Christoph, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, David. I hope you are fine, sir.
I am well, sir.
David, I want to say hi to Mr. Osako Michael of PZ, his wife, Marco. David, are we not putting unnecessary pressure on the coach? I think it's too early for us to be doing that. I think that, these are friendly matches. David, are you telling me that if we are to meet USA in a tournament, do you think they will have scored us like this? No. You see, we have the individual talent, and the coach is now trying to put them together, and then have a team. So, to me, I think we shouldn't put too much pressure on him. He should just take time and fix the team, put the right people at the right places. But I want to say that Kudus sometimes is a bit selfish. That some balls that needs to be released to the nearest person, but he still wants to dribble around and all that. I believe that when he look at the individual excellence and brilliance, he'll be able to put them together. But I'm saying that, David, finally, that if we were to meet Mexico in a tournament, they can't score us. If we were to meet USA, to me, in a tournament, they can't score us. So going forward, I know things will improve, but let's not give him pressure. I mean, he knows what he's doing. Thank you very much, David.
Well, I hear you. He says if we should meet, Mexico or meet, the USA in the tournament, they cannot beat us. Sir.
Right.
Was it Basel past glories, huh? 0322083596, 0322083597, and 0322083598. What do you think the problem of the Black Stars is as we speak? Now, many people are saying that, especially my guys in the studios are saying we should not blame the coach. We should blame the players and the attitude towards donning the jersey and playing for the Black Stars. Eugene, I'll come to you shortly. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David. My name is Emil. I'm calling from my Science State.
What's the name again?
Emil, E-M-I-L.
Emil, let's hear you.
All right. So I think this 2 defeats probably could be a blessing in disguise because you guys will attest the fact that Chris Hughton has played a couple of matches and hasn't lost any of them. And so if the matches had gone well and we had gone into the tournament and performed abysmally, it would have been more painful. So I would rather want to see it as a blessing in disguise so that at least it will send a strong signal to him that the team needs to be worked on. He will not be a bit complacent knowing that he has won all matches he has played, among other things. So it has happened. Let us not only dwell on the negative. Let us look at the positive aspect of it. What can be done to strengthen the team going forward into November's games as well as the AFCON. So I think it's a blessing in disguise. Thank you.
I hear you, Emil. Thanks very much for joining us. So you wanted to say something, Fifi, about our preparedness for AFCON and what we need to do and all that. But before you come in, usually you want to say something?
Yes. I just want to tell everybody that the Black Stars has gone past its glory days. Since we went to the finals with Egypt in Luanda in the AFCON 2010. AFCON.
We're in the final against Ivory Coast.
We played the penalties with them, didn't we?
I'm coming. When you look at the Black Stars in the last from 2010, we've been on a precipitous decline. And David, you see, my issue with the Black Stars, do you know why I'm worried? When Black Stars are performing, David, you forget Petro is 13 CD.
Or problems of Ghana. All the problems of Ghana.
David, see, now the way the Black Stars are playing, we do not have anything to reconcile us as a country. Now, David, I'm coming. The last point on this. Going into Cote d'Ivoire.
Before you touch on that,
I do not think...
Paul Asari is on the line. We'll come to you. Paul Asari, good morning, sir, and welcome.
Good morning, Dave.
Let's hear you, boss.
Those who are saying the coach cannot be blamed. The thing falls on him. He is the leader. If you sit down for people to dictate for you or to tell you to do something, then you do it. Then the thing is, it is the leader who is to be blamed. We are all blaming the Kufuor for not doing well. But the Kufuor is not the minister. They have set up people who are supposed to work for him. But when things are not going well, you blame the president. So you blame the coach. The coach, I don't think he has all the power to select and all the power to call and everything. I think the players are selected for him by who so called the agents and whatever. Until they stop that, this team will be the same thing. You won't win anything. There's nothing that we can win. I rest my case.
Yeah, some Black Stars. So the Black Stars unites Ghana, gives us, joy. And now, Evans, good morning.
Yeah, hello, David.
Yeah, Evans.
So I think the player quality is also a matter to consider. We may have one or two players who are playing well in the European League, yes, but with teams. You understand? So the coach is not doing so good. Yes, he has some good results here and there, but generally speaking, we don't have quality players. I can say on authority, apart from Samastaki, who is playing for Arsenal, how many of our players would make it into the top 6 Premier League teams and walk into the first 11? None of them. You understand? So some level of expectation is placed on the coach with the hope that the players will do what they are asked to do. But the players lack quality. Today Ayew is still playing in the Black Stars. What team does he play? Yes, he's a captain of the side, yes, but where does Ayew play? until recently we had kudos coming to West Ham. Our players are generally average. Like I said, how many of them will walk into Tottenham first 11? Arsenal, Partey is there, no problem. City, Liverpool, and the like. We lack quality. It's also a matter we should be looking at. This business about calling players because they play in the second division or third division, and we expect that suddenly when they can, they should be playing like Mo Salah. It doesn't work like that. Thank you.
Let's pick 2 more calls and then we call it a day on the phone lines. Okay, so I have Kofi Bedu on the line, I have Yeboah as well. Kofi, let me start off with you. Kofi Bedu, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dave. How are you doing?
Well, Kofi.
Dave, you know what? For instance, I lost the interest in Black Star since $4 million was flown out of this country to those people, these players at is it Brazil or so. And that is when I lost my interest in the Black Star. I think the Black Star problem, go beyond the coach. I think they lack discipline. And we need a leader who can instill discipline in these players. If a coach can be given a free hand, we need a coach who can have his authority to select his own players and instill discipline. And this cannot be a black coach. I don't think so, because the black people more or less don't have that authority. But the white, because if you don't give me the free hand, they can easily resign, quit. But in this case, this is not what we've been seeing. So I think it goes beyond the coach. If some of these things are going to happen. But for instance, I lost interest in the Black Stars. When they are playing, I just don't care at all, whoever will win. Since that $4 million was going to the Brazil for these guys.
Well, thank you very much, Kofi Bedu. I think that the other conversation we're having off air, we should bring that one on. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome, boss. Let's hear you, sir.
Because
So I think that you've got the wrong number. He's got the wrong number. He wants to go on Ishra. All right. So, but let's share some voice notes with our listeners as well. Let's share the voice notes. I'll come to you.
Special birthday dedication to the records man. He's part of the Love FM sports team. Desmond, the records man.
Yo.
So happy birthday to Desmond, the records.
If you're booking the protocol, let me also say a belated happy birthday to Kwame Frimpong, PRO of the Confanochi Teaching Hospital. Yesterday was your birthday, so belated happy birthday to you, Kwame. We love you and love you and love you. Yeah.
David, let me also say a big hello to everybody that's listening at Farmer, my boss Auntie Irene, and then Joe Bruce, and then every other person.
Okay. Yeah, David. Let me also say hello to everybody in the MCR, and just to add on to Kwame. David, you know what he did for us last. I've not forgotten.
Yeah.
Where he saved the brother's life. The guy would have died, and I want to say.
And hello to Ohima of Veronique Heights. I'll be coming to the hospital.
All right, so the hospital, Lampa. Voice notes, please.
Dave, good morning. This is Felix. I think Chris Wooten, he's the right man for the job, but their problem is we are doing Kobo. We don't have a team. Everyone is coming from an angle just to explore what they've got. But we don't have a team that we are training them for these matches. At least we should have a solid team. The likes of Sule Muntari, Michael Essien, Hans Edu Sape, those people, they had a team. By then in 2006, Black Stars had a team. We were playing regularly with these players. You understand? Before we embark on these matches, they meet for some time, train hard before meeting their opponents. But now we don't have a team. Anytime we have a match, everyone will be coming from his or her. Everyone will be coming from his place.
Oh no, boss. For this team, the team is below standard. So we shouldn't have anticipated much of getting results from this Mexico and even US. US scoring Ghana is not in use because for our standard from the previous African Cup, Even Comoros even scoring us, and we haven't done anything yet to beat the team, and we are aiming high off. Oh no, there's much work to be done. We must do things well.
David, it is leadership. Black Stars is leadership. The GFA is the management of the Black Stars and other sports in this country. The head is rotten, so it will have a trickle down effect down there. We all know this. It seems Ghana, we keep on saying this. This is nothing new. The GFA is rotten, so it will get down to the what? To the senior team. The coach, the coach cannot do much because players that are called and other things, there are influences of the GFA, especially the president. So what can the coach do? It's just like Ghana's economy. Ghana, our woes and everything is not that the citizens are not good. It is the leadership.
Yeah, good morning, David. This is Ben. Concerning the Black Stars, to me, I think these players are what we have for now. The only worry, or my only worry, is that at least they should blend it with the local players because they are really hungry for success. What I see on the boys is that they are not committed. And it looks like they are doing as a favor of playing for the team. But elsewhere, people play their national teams with pride.